Hello.
Yeah.
I'm so honored to be with you right now. It's absolutely amazing. It's a dream come true. I've been listening to you for about 4 years, and I feel like I've been getting addicted to YouTube, listening to you over and over and over again.
Well, forget everything you ever heard us say and just pay attention to today. Nothing is a contradiction, but today we're talking about your true power.
Yes.
Yeah.
So about 1.5 years ago, I embarked on a journey for myself. So to connect to my inner self, to be able, to clear the chatter that always goes on. And
That's what we've been talking about already, isn't it? To hook into your true power.
I've been meditating religiously every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm going through all the different processes, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And still, I feel that there's an underlying energy of fear, insecurity that I can't tap into. Not that I want to tap into, but it feels like it doesn't want to go away.
You see, here's the thing. You're really going to like this. This is going to be of great benefit to all of you. So imagine that you have a sliver in your hand, and it's a metal sliver. It got in there pretty good and pretty deep quite a while ago, and you couldn't get it out, and you didn't want to go to the trouble of getting it out, and it's really not a problem. You're only aware of it occasionally. You have the kind of a picture of that. So it doesn't hurt. It's not infected. It could stay there forever. It's not even big enough to hook you up to a magnet. It's just something that's there. And last year, you stubbed your toe and really hurt it. And then you shut your hand in the car door, and that really hurt. And compared to those things, this sliver in your hand, it's actually pretty meaningless. In fact, we don't even know, Abraham, why you're bringing it up. It's such an unimportant thing in my life experience. But then, as the perfection of your life becomes more and more and more, and you become more and more and more and more sensitive to things, now you have an awareness of this sliver that you don't think ought to be there. And it's not because it's a problem. It's just that in your sensitivity, you haven't shut your finger in the door for a long time, and you haven't stubbed your toe, and you haven't broken any bones, and nothing big's fallen on you. And in your quest for this wonderful, perfect experience, suddenly you're thinking, there's a sliver in my hand. And so your sensitivity, your desire for living the perfect life gives you a greater sensitivity to anything that you think might be sideways of that. And there are so many things that you make bigger than they need to be. What we are addressing here, did you follow that just a little bit? It's your sensitivity to the contradictory vibration that is this discussion, more than it is the magnitude or the power of whatever it is that's stuck in your vibrational craw. The point that we'd really like to make is that rather than trying to root out every little sliver from the past or even from the present, focus upon the energy that creates worlds and let that sliver become the irrelevant thing that it is. Because every thought that you've ever thought still exists, and the potential for activating it and making it problematic in this moment of attention. You see, all of your power is in your now, which means right here in your now, your inner being is focused with you on whatever you're focused about. And your inner being has a very powerful and specific way of focusing about it, meaning all good things. And when you get the slightest little bit sideways of that, then you can feel the discord of that. So you could focus upon the discord and start rooting around and trying to get that sliver out and make it a whole lot worse. Or you could just focus upon the connection to your inner being and let that sliver or that past thought or that past event, no matter how big or egregious it seemed to be, let it become, perspective-wise, relativity-wise, the irrelevant thing that it really is. You do not have to root out your old beliefs. You just have to think thoughts that are bigger than they are. That would be like saying, you get into your car, it's a new car, and it's got all this awesome radio system. And you can dial it or you can preset things, and it has a range of all the bands of stuff that you could hear. And then you realize the salesman was in your car, and he listened to some things before you got there. In fact, he even preset some buttons. and you say, you've ruined my car. You made it believe things. You set things in motion that you're listening to things I would never listen to in my car. Of course, you just say, how silly. Just turn the dial and listen to what you want. No, it already happened. The dial was already tuned, and other thoughts were already thought, and now it's ruined. No, it isn't. It doesn't matter what you've lived or what you've thought or what combinations of things that you had before, because in all of that, you created a vibrational reality that is the only thing that you're wanting to tune to, you see. So when you meditate and quiet your mind and allow your vibration to rise, maybe your sensitivity to those other things is activated, but usually you can get right past that. So we want to introduce into this conversation the idea of, we already talked about daydream, and you sort of get that. You're not up to speed with it, but we're going to get you. We're going to get you, because you do sort of kind of get it. You're going to get it. The pure, non-resisted thought, the power of a non-resisted thought, the power of a non-resisted thought. But often, rather than daydreaming, you're nightmaring. Esther was nightmaring. Those big towers could fall. They could fall on the roof. They could break the stained glass windows. They could fall on the neighbor. They could fall on a person. That's nightmaring. That's using your ability to focus in a way that's contradictory to what your inner being is doing, and therefore contradictory to the way the energy flows, and therefore setting up resistance within you, which is the only negative thing that can ever happen to you, is contradicted energy. So does it matter what you ever believed? No, it only matters what you now believe in relationship to what you now want. Stay there just for a minute. The only thing that matters is your current active desire and your vibrational relationship to it. So if you've got a current active desire and you doubt it, you're not helping yourself. You're causing negative emotion and resistance. But if you've got a desire and you are general enough about it or vague enough about it that you're not remembering all the ways that it won't work for you, then you're not contradicting anything, and you're allowing the energy that creates worlds to proceed on your behalf, you see. And better still, you're going to be in on it, where you just find this right place, right time, right movement, right impulse that moves it along, but more important, feels good while you're doing it.